really tell what the best setup would be, but we're just gonna try this for now. I got my lunch. I'm eating avocado toast today because I have class in 20 minutes, so I gotta multitask things. This video is super exciting because I have a lot of great tips on your FaceTime call with family. I wish someone had told me this before I had my call. Don't be nervous. It's just a call with another family. Be yourself. The family wants to see your personality come out, and be super genuine, and you're gonna rock it. And if you don't, then it's not the right family and go find another one. That's simple. Okay, anyway, the last time I talked about how to become an au pair, which hopefully by now you have a little more information on how to become one, how to find a family. Once you have found a family, I want to discuss what questions and what discussions you should have with the family once you set up a FaceTime call. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So first thing, tell the family a little bit about who you are. Hopefully they already know a little bit general details, but give them one or two things that make you stand out or that you would define yourself by, because chances are that these families are FaceTiming and having calls with other au pairs, and you really want to make an impression and stand out amongst the rest. Yeah, just talk about your life. They want to get to know who you are because you're going to be living with them. And also don't forget about them and their kids, because you're going to be spending the majority of the time with their kids. So okay, sorry, I'm like eating while I'm doing this. So next thing I would talk about would be why you want to become an au pair. Families don't want to hear, oh, I want to become an au pair because I really want to travel the world. If those are your reasons why you're doing it, that's awesome, but don't make that the main reason. Don't tell them that that is the main reason why you want to become an au pair. From their perspective, they want to know that your intentions aren't just to you know, kind of live with them until you get to go travel. They want to know that you want to go live with them as a family. Immerse yourself in their family and another culture, I think would be a great answer. So make sure that you answer this question carefully, because I think it's a pretty important one. Next, they will probably ask you this already, but I would talk about your experience with kids. Just give a few examples, and I would tell them if you have liked working with kids, maybe some difficulties you've had, because working with kids, as we all know, is not the easiest thing, but yeah, give them kind of your background, and chances are they will ask for a reference, which is great. Make sure you have a reference to give. I think you will stand out if you have a reference, because that will probably make the family feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, this interview goes two ways. You're also interviewing the family, right? So they're trying to hire you, yes, but you can be super choosy with your family. So make sure you're asking them questions too. When I had my FaceTime calls, I always asked them if they had au pairs before, because if they have had au pairs, they've kind of gone through the process, know what they're looking for, and chances are they kind of already know how to do this process. So ask if they have had au pairs before, what that looked like. And also, I would highly, highly, highly recommend asking them for a reference. I got to contact the family's previous au pair and ask her kind of like, hey, is this family chill? Like, what was your experience with them? Did you like it? Blah, blah, blah. And I got a very positive response, and I think that was super, super reassuring that someone had already been there and had already done it and lived with the family, and they came out of it positively. So I'd say that's a really important one for you to ask the family. This video is very random. I'm not going in any particular order, but I had a few calls that I just felt a little like the conversation felt forced and a little too formal. Yes, it's an interview, but also this relationship should be in between professional and friendly, if that makes sense, because you're going to be living with them. You're going to have to like them. They're going to have to like you. So if you're getting a bad feeling from it, I would kind of see that as a red flag. When I FaceTimed with the family that I chose, immediately, like in the first 30 seconds or minute, I just felt, I was like, wow, this family is awesome. I'm really vibing with the mom. We ended up talking for almost an hour, and most of my other calls were only like 15-20 minutes, and we were genuinely interested about one another. Yeah, I think you can kind of just tell and trust your gut on this one, because finding family is like finding family is the most important thing when you're becoming an au pair, because it will really make or break your time. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty a little bit. What should you talk about logistic wise? Be super, super, super upfront with everything at first. Initially asking them before you have committed to the family is the best time to ask the questions. So ask all your awkward questions in the first video, get them out of the way. You just want to be super upfront and transparent, not apparent. So this all kind of goes in the contract. You should discuss things like food, if you'll be eating meals with them, if you're allowed to eat their food, if you can request things from the grocery store. I was able to do this and it worked out really well. Initially when I got there, it was kind of awkward, like going into the kitchen, right? And like, okay, I'm eating your food now. But they thought it was totally fine, was like, help yourself to whatever you want. It seems like a simple topic, but it was a little bit awkward, you know? I don't know, it's something about food. Sometimes you would go in the kitchen when someone else was making something. It was just like, felt a little awkward, but you'll figure it out. Money, how much you're getting paid. Ask them when you will be paid. I was paid on the 1st of every month. Just run it by them, ask them, put it on the contract. If they're paying for your transportation, your classes, your flight over there. For me, they didn't pay for my flight, I paid for my flight. But they gave me money for my German course. Also, something I highly recommend is try to leverage with a family. I may have done this a little bit. If you say you're talking with another family, you can kind of leverage a few things. So the family that I chose, they were like, oh, how much is the other family paying for your German class? And then you can kind of just say whatever you want. Probably not the most honest thing to do, but it worked. So yeah, the family helped with my German class. They gave me 350 euros a month plus that German class money. I paid for my own transportation, and no, it wasn't a lot of money, but if you're not going to travel, it's totally fine. You can still get around and do some stuff locally on that money that you make. If you want to travel, that's where it gets a little hard. I had to go into my savings to travel because I wanted to just travel as much as I could while I was over there. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. Speaking of travel, you should be able to travel. You should have weekends off and nights off. Again, be super explicit about this all because it gets really awkward and murky when you go there. And this should all say on the contract, but if it doesn't, make sure you add or ask them about it. You can ask them to show you your room and your bathroom on the FaceTime call. Family did this with me. Honestly, I think it was a bit of a selling point too, because I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that could be mine. I get my own bathroom. This is awesome. Their house was cool. Yeah, you can ask them about that too. Or ask them to send you pictures or something. Also, your hours you will work. This is also something super important. So since in most cases you'll be living there with the family, it's hard to finish work or find, it's not like you have like a stamp sheet or like you sign out on an iPad of like, okay, I'm done working at 7 p.m. It's kind of like the parents get home and it's like, oh, how was the day? Okay, let's hang out a little bit, but it's kind of like, can I leave? I want to go even just like up to my room. So if the family can give you a clear time of when you're done working, that would be best, because it just can get awkward a little bit because you're living with them. So you're not going to be like, okay, am I done with her? Okay, see you later. I'm leaving. Bye. I'm so sick of your kids. If they're like, okay, 7 p.m. you're done. You see the clock, 7 p.m. All right, you're done. That's all I have on here. I'm sure I'm missing things because I haven't done one of these in so long, but if you take one thing from this video, be overly explicit and just ask about all the nitty-gritty that you can. Oh, also ask about like which chores you'll be doing and stuff too, your tasks, which should be on the contract. But yeah, be overly explicit, ask them anything and everything you can, have them send over a contract and look it over. If you see anything that isn't super clear or that doesn't make sense or that you don't like, talk about it with them. Families need the au pairs. They need you more than you need them. Just make sure that the family respects you. Yeah, I think if you figure out all these things and have a great relationship with them, it should work out being fine, but just make sure that you get everything figured out in a nice and easy way before you go, because yeah, I've said this so many times, but it gets kind of messy once you get there. So anyway, I have class now, so I gotta go. I hope that this video was really helpful. I wish I had seen a video like this maybe before I au paired. So I hope this helped you, and if you have any more questions, as always, reach out to me on my Instagram. I reply the fastest at savtuma. You can also leave a comment down below. I respond to those pretty frequently too. Yeah, and just know so many people are doing this. I know it can kind of feel alone when you're trying to become an au pair, but you have resources. Reach out to people, reach out to other au pairs, join Facebook groups, and yeah, congrats on finding a family, and I hope you have the best call. Yeah, thanks so much. I will see you next time. Bye.